Hi. The Animation Challenge team decided to mix things up a little bit this month. We figured, seeing that everyone was hunkering down in their own private bunkers, myself included, that people could use a little bit of entertainment. And we concocted a plan. The plan involves me sitting down and looking at every single one of the submissions from last month. Now, I must warn you, what you're about to witness is completely raw and unfiltered feedback. I have not looked at these videos at all. This will be the first time I look at any of them. And I'm going to be as constructive as possible, but I'm going to try to say something about all of them. Hopefully you guys can handle that, because I don't know how it's going to go, to be honest. I'm just going to react. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, and but I think it should be pretty entertaining and hopefully educational. So if you're ready and you can take it, sit back, grab some popcorn, wash your hands first, kick back and watch me review these things for the first time. Let's do this. Let's do it. All right. Kind of excited, a little bit nervous. So much pressure. All right, so let's take a look at the first one here. I'm not going to even try to say your names because I'll probably butcher them, and I'm not even too sure if they're all reliable, all these names on these files, because I just downloaded these right off the Facebook site. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. I'm just going to hit play. Let's go.
Visitors!
Okay, so I'm going to say something right off the bat here. What I'm going to try to do to keep myself, I'm just kind of come up with this plan as we go. But I think the best way is for me to try to divide these sort of my reactions to these things into two different categories. This is what I usually do when I'm looking at work anyways, but I'm just going to make it very clear right now. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to compartmentalize my feelings in category A, which is going to be just the overall sense of quality of animation, which involves body mechanics, staging, all the animation kind of stuff. And the other side is going to be the storytelling. Like, am I intrigued? Am I interested? Am I entertained? Because rule number one, animators are entertainers. That's what we should be always. And we are honing our craft of moving characters around, performing with them in order to entertain, in order to entertain in some way. So we can never lose sight of that. There's these two things, and by making sure that they're both really great is how you're going to get a really big impact on the audience. So that's how I'm going to kind of approach this. So this first one is actually pretty awesome. Let me just tone down the volume a little bit. It's kind of killing my ears. I'm a little confused by the story. I'm not going to lie. I think that one of the issues I have is if it's rehearsal, if that's the theme, I expect anybody who's submitting to this would be trying to riff on that. Like, I should be able to understand. It could be a very unique take on that, and maybe I'm just too thick here, but I don't really understand how this fits into the rehearsal. I see a cowboy. I see them kind of in a kind of a pout-like walk, wander over and sit on a box, and then he seems to be waiting and he's bored, and then suddenly some visitors show up and he's excited. So there's something about it I don't get the rehearsal part of this. Animation-wise, I think things are pretty good. I'd say overall, the mechanics are good. I feel like maybe a little bit more time could be spent on
Visitors!
like that. There's something really awkward about that last move there. And if it ends on a weird note too, considering the camera angle, I feel like there should be like I'm almost missing the punchline in a way. I feel like that sweep should have happened. Then he could have just been smiling at whoever he's smiling at. It's a very weird time to cut. I don't know if it's just because you're trying to fit it into a smaller length. I'm not too sure. But overall, I think it's pretty great. I'm going to end up spending way too much time on all these. Okay, so let's this next one.
Drop it, or I swear I'll blow this nigga's head all over this town. Oh, Lordy Lord, he's desperate. Do what he say. Do what he say. Drop it, or I swear I'll blow this nigga's head all over this town. Oh, Lordy Lord, he's desperate. Do what he say. Do what he say.
Okay, so I'm kind of torn on this. I really like the idea. I know that the soundtrack is definitely from Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles. I recognize it right away. I will caution you, though, using the N-word in an animated short is very risky. Mel Brooks is a professional comedian. Just like any really good comedian, they can get away with things that normal people cannot. I think it's risky in today's social fabric and context to do that, personally. I think it would make me nervous to do that, worried about how people are how they're going to react to it. So yeah, that's the elephant in the room right now. So that is the first thing. It's like once he said that word, I'm like, oh, like, and I knew it was coming too because I recognized the line right away. Now that aside, I really, really love this idea of it plays off this idea of a rehearsal too, like, or sorry, not rehearsal, but the what's the theme again? Yeah, I think was it rehearsal? Yeah. So I like the idea that that this actor is trying to play a role, and he's even got like this. He's created like a dummy character they can act off of. I think that in itself is really, really cool. I think that is clever, and it caught me off guard. I really like that. It's fresh. Animation wise,
I swear I'll blow this nigga's head all over this town. Oh, Lordy, Lord, he's desperate. Do what he say. Do what he say.
Honestly, this is honestly one of my favorite parts. I really, 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 really like I like this. I like how you did the whole sort of role reversal and this cool little spinny move that he does right here. I think is just pure genius. This little switcheroo. It's a great performance. It really is. Now, there's a couple other little things too. Like, I love also how the hat even flies. Like, he does a quick hat switch. It kind of bugged me that how stiff the hat was once it gets on the other character. Like, I felt like I feel like the hat in general was a little stiff all the way through. Especially, the animation is quite good, but I feel like having such a large silhouette, this big hat, without having it kind of flopping around a little bit, it's almost distracting that it's stiff. It feels like there's no weight. I feel like the hat is so big it's a character in itself.
Over this town. Oh, Lordy, Lord.
Yeah, but I mean, pretty cool. Risky. Depending on the audience, you might not get away with it. You might actually take a couple big hits for it. But yeah, you might even want to just sort of bleep it out or something if you want to put that on your demo reel. I don't know. It's to each their own, right?